Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Monday, December 10th, 2018, a success. Now the first thing I want to talk about today is going to be right here where the moon is in Capricorn. When the moon's in Capricorn, it brings our attention to our career, our reputation, to where our life is going, and to some big responsibilities that we may have kind of hanging over our heads. Now it is important to mention whenever the moon is in Capricorn that the moon does not like to be in Capricorn. That's because the moon likes to be in the opposite sign in Cancer. And when the moon's in Cancer, it can feel loved and nurtured, but when the moon is in Capricorn, which it is today, it may be hard for us to feel loved, to feel nurtured, to feel comfortable emotionally in the way that we want to feel, because there are so many other big things going on in life that we have to take care of. So that's what we're dealing with today. And now a little bit after lunchtime today, this moon in Capricorn is going to make its first aspect of the day. It's going to come into a conjunction here with the South Node, while at the same time making a square to Uranus and a sextile over here to Chiron. Moon South Node days are not my favorite. What this could bring, of course, with also the moon being in Capricorn here, is a feeling of being held back, a feeling of frustration. The South Node rules our past. It rules the things we need to get away from, the things we need to stop doing in a sense. And with the moon here on the South Node, we may have to do things today that we don't want to do. We may have to go backwards in order to go forwards. So I think that's kind of what it is that we're feeling. There could be some unexpected event with the trine to Uranus that comes up, maybe forcing us to go back to square one a little bit so that we can start to move forward once again. Okay, or you yourself could do something unexpected here to try to break free from things that are holding you back. I think that if you deal with these things that may be from the past, that may be old issues that maybe you don't want to deal with the sextile to Chiron, I think hopefully and definitely it's going to help you to finally make your peace with the past, or to no longer have to deal with those things anymore if you just deal with them right now. Deal with them today instead. All right, so that, I believe, is the first thing I want to mention there, and the main focus of today, because after this happens, the moon then is going to move into Aquarius a little bit after dinner time, and it's just going to hang out and chill out. So to me, the end of the day is going to be a lot more about, I don't know if relaxing is the word, but loosening up, seeing different perspectives, and hopefully maybe being out and about with friends a little bit, or considering options for your future. But it's mainly this other alignment while the moon's in Capricorn that is important, and which is my first point. Today, you may have to go backwards instead of going forwards. And if you allow yourself to deal with old issues that you don't want to deal with, that you feel like should have been dealt with before, if you can allow yourself to do that, I think it's really going to help you so that you no longer have to deal with those things once you deal with them today in the same way anymore. All right. And the second thing I want to mention here, I'm going to go to Mars in a conjunction with Neptune, number 2. That's a weird looking 2. Number 2, that's what I'm going to talk about. Mars in a conjunction with Neptune. I think there's a lot going on spiritually, intuitively. I think we're trying to, after this new moon in Sagittarius, we're trying to move into new chapters in our life, getting more excited and more optimistic about our life. But I think there's still things emotionally. I think there's still things from the past. I think there's still things spiritually that are weighing on us that we're trying to work out. We're trying to figure out here. And I think Mars in Pisces with Neptune is saying, okay, now is the time to figure out what's going on with you internally, to get right with yourself internally, and to move on with all that stuff. And I think that's what's happening. Mars also in a conjunction with Neptune isn't the best for doing things in a way that can get you the results that you want. Mars in Pisces is a little bit more passive at times as well. So with this alignment, it's not really the best for making things happen. You could feel a little bit frustrated. Maybe you want to do things today, not only with the moon on the South Node, but now also with this Mars Neptune, and realize that it's hard for you to act, to do things. And the message here of this Mars Neptune is, look, before you can do new things, maybe you got to take care of old things. Maybe you also got to get right with yourself personally first. Maybe you got to get right with yourself emotionally and spiritually first. And you have to make sure that the things that you're doing today are not just doing things to do them. You have to make sure the things that you are acting on today are things that actually have impact, are things that are really important to you, and are things that really resonate with you inside. Because if you can hone in on your efforts today to do the right things and not just anything, I think they're going to have way more results than it would if you just keep trying to throw things at the wall. All right, try to do things with purpose and intention today. even if you have to go backwards to go forwards. Now the third and last thing I want to talk about is going to be right here where Mercury is in Scorpio, making a trine to the North Node, a trine to Chiron. It's been doing this for quite some time, but it's still here. It's stationed on this spot, going retrograde, and now it's direct. And I do believe even if there are a lot of hard things going on today, frustration in the chart, communicate, use your words, speak. Don't just kind of hide yourself away. Sometimes Mars and Neptune and Pisces wants to do that. Don't just hide yourself away if you have problems today. Don't just hide yourself in a corner and clam up if things are not going quite the way today that you were hoping to go. You got to communicate. Talk to people about what you're feeling, about what's going on inside you, about what you're trying to do in life and why it's hard for you to do it and what you need to do in order to move forward. And I think if you can just talk to people about it, it's going to help you start to realize more of what you need to feel better, to feel more grounded, and it's going to help you to unlock some of the doors and make some of the changes, perhaps last minute changes here, that you need in order to get your life moving once again, if not today, then at another day very soon. So that is your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.